Hello Pisces, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with 40 years experience in the business, over 30,000 clients worldwide, and it's my pleasure, Pisces, to welcome you to this particular video on your cycles for 2015. I've got over 150 YouTube videos up there now on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth, Pisces. And first of all, I'm going to tell you a few things about yourself. That's always a lot of fun. And also to then tell you about the movements of the planets through the houses of your horoscope during 2015. And as they move through the houses of your horoscope, they bring about events and conditions in your life. They're transiting influences, and I'm going to be looking at the faster moving bodies, the Sun, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, and Saturn. So they're the ones that I'm going to be looking at for you to give you an idea of what's coming up in 2015 from these transitory influences. And then I'm going to put it all on a timeline for you so that I'll look at it on a week-by-week basis and tell you where the planets are in any particular time and what sort of impact that has upon you. And then when it moves into a different house, I'll tell you that. So it's on a timeline for you, okay? So just sit back and relax, Pisces, and enjoy the journey here with me, eh? You know, Pisces, you are a very special person. You're very, very psychic, very, very sensitive. You get a lot of strange feelings that go through you that you find hard to understand and comprehend. No one is more tuned into the subjective side of life than a Pisces. And you're very, very easily impacted by the moods of those around you. You get a lot of strange feelings from everybody around you that's going through you that you find hard to relate to, and it tends to throw you into a bit of chaos. And chaos is something that you're very much accustomed to, Pisces, because very often, in order to be able to try and get into that introspective side of your nature, you throw yourself into chaos. And you have brought yourself to this particular video, Pisces, because there's a message here in this video for you that you weren't ready to accept even a month ago. You're ready now, Pisces, to make changes inside of yourself that you weren't ready to make even a month ago. Perhaps you've had some sort of a crisis recently and you've called out to something higher than yourself. Can I have some help? Where am I heading? Where am I going? Where's the direction in my life? Where's the map for me to follow so that I can find my way out of this pain and this fear and this anxiety and this doubt? So yes, you're very, very psychic, very, very sensitive. You get a lot of strange feelings go through you, and it's difficult for you to relate to it sometimes. So you do turn to self-abnegation and self-punishment, Pisces. Self-abnegation means that you put yourself down. You don't think that you're worth much. You don't think that you deserve to have all of the good things in life. And so this is a common trait with Pisces. And in that pain and in that inner hurt and chaos, you many times turn to escapist habit patterns of behaviour that are your self-pity, fear, anxiety, doubt, insecurities, low self-esteem, problems with your own self-image and so forth. And in the chaos, to try and relieve the pain, you turn to drugs or alcohol. And these are all masks that you have to put on every now and again to try and cope with life. You're strongly attracted towards the mystical and spiritual side of life, and you want to become more of who you really are, and you want to find your way out of chaos, and you want to sidle up to the divine in whatever way that you imagine the divine to be. But you are very special, Pisces, and you're a champion, and you're going to make it. And I'm here to help you to become more of who you really are. As far as money is concerned, you're a bit impulsive with money. You've got to admit that. and the money just goes through your hands like water. So there's a lot of stress and tension in your life, Pisces, focusing through money, okay? Now you love the beauties of nature, you love walking around among the plants and the shrubs, and you can see life, God's life and God's expression in all of that. God and Goddess, they're expressed in all the beauties of nature. You just love that. So you love driving around into the mountains and walking around among the plants and shrubs and so forth and things like that, and you can see the beauty there. Now you have many changes of residence, and that's probably because you're trying to find a new life. You want a new life, and so you think the only thing that I can do is to change residence and that'll give me a new life, but it doesn't. And so you find yourself changing residences. Even you might have two places to live in at the one time. You could have twins in the family. Now it might not be your own personal family, but it could be in the extended family somewhere. Now there's a lot of music around the home. You love music around the home. And there's a distinct sense of duality there in terms of your family situation, so that you might have a parent who was a step-parent or an adoptive parent, or whatever you like to put the name on that. So there's quite often there a bit of duality in your nature about where you come from, who's your family, and so on and so forth, Pisces. You enjoy social activities around the home more than anything else. So you enjoy partying around the home and having friends around the home, cozy, intimate activities there. And you love children very much, so quite feasibly you've had children. And you really love the water too, so you're strongly attracted recreationally towards the water. So you like swimming and you like boating and things like that. Now you do get involved in a few secret relationships, and you can get yourself embroiled in a relationship that's not in your own best interests, especially in the later part of your life. Now, as far as the work is concerned, you do enjoy social activities also with people that you work with. And you gravitate towards positions of responsibility and leadership in the job. Now, you marry somebody who is from a lower station in life. So you could marry somebody perhaps who you meet from overseas, or someone who was born out from overseas, or someone of a different nationality than yourself. You could marry somebody who you meet through your work or your service activities in some way, shape or form. In your work, you generally have a lot of dealings with the general public in some way, shape or form, Pisces. So that's just a little bit there about yourself anyway. Now I'm going to look at the movements of the planets as they move through the houses of your horoscope. So just sit back and relax now and enjoy the journey here with me. Now we start off in February with the Sun in the first house of your horoscope. And with the Sun in the first house of your horoscope, there's a focus of your personality upon this is upon personal interests and self-initiated efforts on the 20th of February. And the 21st of February, Mars moves into the second house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the second house of your horoscope, there's potential there for impulsiveness with money and a lot of stress and tension focusing through your sense of security, not the least of which is your financial circumstances, Pisces. On the 22nd of February, Venus moves into the second house of finances, improving things a lot and making you want to purchase things. So you make some major purchase sometime over the next 2 or 3 weeks. On the 18th of March, Pisces, Venus moves into the third house of your horoscope and begins a 2 or 3 week cycle where you'll have a lot more social involvements with relatives. You'll get on very well with neighbours. You'll enjoy driving and listening to music while you drive, and listening to music at home too with headphones and your iPod and things like that. Now on the 21st of March, the Sun moves into the second house of finances, Pisces, and focuses your whole attention, your personality drive upon improving your financial circumstances in life for 30 days. So money matters and matters relating to your sense of security come to the fore. The 1st of April, April Fool's Day, Mars moves into the third house of your horoscope, Pisces, and remains there for about 2 or 3 weeks. With Mars in the third house of your horoscope, you've got to be careful of accidents on the road, so don't drive too fast. You can be a little bit aggressive and impulsive in speech, and there can be conflicts and tensions with relatives and neighbours with that going on. Now on the 12th of April, Venus moves into the fourth house of your horoscope, Pisces. With Venus in the fourth house of your horoscope, there's a lot more love for the family and the social activities revolving around family and the domestic side of life. You'll enjoy a lot of music around the home for 2 or 3 weeks. On the 21st of April, the Sun moves into the third house of your horoscope and remains there for a month. With the Sun in the third house of your horoscope, the whole of your focus of your personality is upon expanding your understanding, study, research and investigation and stuff like that, and also social involvements with relatives and neighbours. On the 8th of May, Pisces, Venus moves into the fifth house of your horoscope. Now, if you're in the market for a romance or a love affair, then that's a beautiful time for you. Over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you've got good stars for getting out and about and putting yourself out there and circulating and socialising, restaurants, places of amusement, anything to do with children. If you've got children, a lot of social activities with children, a lot of happiness through children, and it's a very good time for speculation and gambling and things like that as well. Now on the 12th of May, Mars moves into the fourth house of your horoscope, Pisces. With Mars in the fourth house of your horoscope, be careful of accidents around the home involving fire. And also stress and tension can come into it in dealings with parents. And also there's potential for conflicts and tensions with those who cohabitate with you in the home, Pisces, okay? So to be forewarned is to be forearmed there. Now on the 22nd of May, the Sun moves into the fourth house of your horoscope, Pisces. With the Sun in the fourth house of your horoscope, there's a focus of your personality upon the domestic and family side of life, a lot more dealings with parents if they play a prominent part in your life. And you've got to remember that this is a lifetime sort of a situation that I'm looking at here. I don't know your age because I don't have your date of birth in front of me. And so therefore these things may apply or may not apply. Your parents might be long deceased, for example. Now then on the 6th of June, Venus moves into the sixth house of your horoscope. Now if you're in the market for a change in your job, the next 2 or 3 weeks, Pisces, is a very good time for job interviews. It'll see you a lot more affectionate with the people that you work with, and there'll be a lot more social involvements perhaps with people that you work with, okay? Now with Venus in the sixth house of your horoscope, it's good for you to do with health. It's favourable for you to do with domestic pets and things that revolve around them. On the 22nd of June, Pisces, the Sun moves into the fifth house of your horoscope, remaining there for 30 days. With the Sun in the fifth house of your horoscope, there's a lot of focus upon children, social activities, romance, love, the social side of life, recreational activities, and that's a focus of your personality during that time upon love and romance if you're in the market for a relationship, particularly if you're female. Now on the 25th of June, Mars moves into the fifth house of your horoscope, introducing a bit of energy there into the social side of life, so you could be a little bit impulsive for 2 or 3 weeks there with romance and love. It'll heighten your sex drive, and it brings a potential for accidents and conflicts revolving around children and tensions and conflicts whilst out on social functions. On the 20th of July, Venus moves into the seventh house of your horoscope, Pisces, and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the seventh house of your horoscope, if you've got a partner, That'll be a lovely time in your relationship. Your partner will be a lot more affectionate, outgoing in their affections. There's going to be a lot more social involvements with the general public. You'll be getting out and about to shopping malls and public parades and things like that, perhaps. On the 23rd of July, the Sun moves into the 6th house of your horoscope, Pisces, and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 6th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon the job. It's a good time for you for job interviews. There's a focus upon health too. Health and dietary matters come to the fore. And there's going to be a lot more involvements there socially with the people that you work with. Now on the 26th of July, Venus moves into a retrograde motion, what's called a retrograde motion, Pisces. Now when a planet is retrograde, they never actually go backwards, but in relation to the between the Earth and the Sun, they appear to be going in a backward motion. When Venus goes retrograde, it impacts negatively upon two other houses that Venus rules. And in your case, Pisces, it rules the 3rd house and the 8th house. So it means that you'll have a few secret worries. They're connected with relatives and neighbours. It's not a good time for entering contracts or agreements. Matters relating to motor vehicles can be a bit chaotic, and it also impacts negatively upon the 8th house of joint finances. So any joint finances with a partner or a spouse, they can be affected negatively for 2 or 3 weeks while it's retrograde. Now on the 1st of August, Pisces, Venus moves backwards in its retrograde motion back into the 6th house of your horoscope. But as I say, it's not bringing benefits there in regard to the work environment. It's focusing more upon those other two houses that it rules. Now the 9th of August, Mars moves into the 6th house of your horoscope, remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. When Mars is in the 6th house of your horoscope, there's a bit of stress and tension there, potentially to do with health and dietary matters, and matters relating to the people that you work with. There can be conflicts and arguments with people that you work with, so just try and keep things fairly cool there around the work environment. There's potential for accidents involving domestic pets. You could get scratched by a cat or bitten by a dog or something like that, and a little bit of stress and tension focusing through health matters, okay? Now on the 24th of August, Pisces, the Sun moves into the 7th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 7th house of your horoscope for 30 days, it focuses your consciousness upon your partner and your spouse, if you have one, and strengthening a relationship if you don't have one. Now then we move on to the Venus starts going direct again on 8th of September, so therefore those negative influences from Venus that I mentioned earlier about the 3rd house and the 8th house are no longer applicable. And Venus is now in the 6th house going forward, bringing social activities with people that you work with and benefits through them. On the 24th of September, the Sun moves into the 8th house of transformation and change. With the Sun in the 8th house of your horoscope for 30 days, you'll have a tremendous urge to introspect, Pisces, and to reflect upon aspects of yourself that you're trying to eliminate and control and rise above. And there's a focus also upon joint finances if you have a partner. Now on the 26th of September, Mars moves into the 7th house of your horoscope. For 2 or 3 weeks, your partner can be a bit assertive and dominant in their nature, argumentative, and just try and cool things down there. There can be conflicts and tensions with your partner as a result of that. Now on the 9th of October, Pisces, Venus moves into the 7th house of your horoscope, and that eases things a lot because the next 2 or 3 weeks is a very good time for you for social activities with the general public, getting out to public parades and shopping malls and things like that. And it's a very favourable time in your relationship with a partner. They'll be more affectionate and outgoing, and they'll want to get out and about and to restaurants and places of amusement with you. Now on the 24th of October, Pisces, the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a focus of your personality for 30 days upon expansion. travel. That can come through travel overseas or interstate. It can come through expansion through adult education. You'll have a tremendous urge to become more of who you really are through adult education, philosophy and religious pursuits and things like that. Now on the 9th of November, Venus moves into the 8th house of your horoscope. If you're female, that increases your sex drive for 2 or 3 weeks. It brings a benefit financially through your partner. Money could come to you from a deceased estate or something like that, or some inheritance or whatever. And on the 13th of November, Mars moves into the 8th house of your horoscope, introducing stress and tension to do with joint finances. Inner parts of yourself that you're trying to get rid of are going to come back, especially if you're male. There's going to be a heightening of your sex drive if you're male, and there's a lot of stress and tension. An aspect of yourself wants to cling to the past and to regurgitate old habit patterns of behaviour that you felt that you'd grown away from. On the 23rd of November, Pisces, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 10th house of your horoscope, there's a focus of your personality upon career and business objectives. So it's a very good time for expansion in business, if you're in business, for seeking promotion and advancement in your career. It's very good for dealings with government departments, and it's favourable socially through parents if they play a prominent part in your life. The 6th of December sees Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, and for 2 or 3 weeks brings a lot of social involvements with in-laws if they play a prominent part in your life. It's a very good time for travel. If you wanted to travel overseas or interstate, that's a very good time for travel. It sees a great deal of activity socially with foreign people, so someone from overseas could visit you or something like that. Now on the 23rd of December, the Sun moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, Pisces, and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 11th house of your horoscope, you're drawn towards group activities, club activities, and other people's children play a prominent part in your life perhaps, such as grandchildren or nieces or nephews or whatever. Or children of friends, perhaps through your children and so forth. And with the Sun in the 11th house of your horoscope, if you're single, well then that's a very good time to get out and about and mixed with groups and friends and club activities and things like that. Now on the 30th of December, the last one we come to, Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, Pisces, and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. That's a very good time for seeking expansion and growth in your career or business. It's a very good time for you generally to do with social activities involving parents, and a great deal of happiness for you in business and career. Now I'm going to look at the movements of Jupiter for you throughout the year, Pisces. Now Jupiter starts the year off on the 1st of February. It's in a retrograde motion. Now when a planet is in a retrograde motion, as I explained earlier with Venus, it does impact negatively upon the houses that it rules. And Jupiter rules the 1st house of your horoscope and the 10th house of your horoscope, Pisces. So what that means is that when Jupiter is retrograde, which it is from the 1st of February until I tell you that it changes, okay, it means that you have secret worries to do with personal initiatives, self-initiated efforts and so forth don't go as well as what you want them to. There can be a lot of secret worries, therefore, to do with things that you want to get going and things that you want to plan and that originate from your own ingenuity and your own imagination. Matters relating to business and career, also there's chaos involved there, and secret worries for you to do with that side of things. Secret worries to do with business, secret worries to do with parents, secret worries in dealings with government departments. So you can be your own worst enemy when Jupiter is retrograde, impacting upon the 10th house of your ambitions and your career. You can make decisions and choices in business that are not in your own best interest, and it can impact negatively upon your own level of self-esteem and value in the community. Now then on the 9th of April, Jupiter goes direct. Now, when Jupiter goes direct, it starts impacting positively upon the house that it sits in. And Jupiter is sitting in your 6th house right up until the 12th of August, actually. So Jupiter in the 6th house of your horoscope is very good for you health-wise. It's very good for you for job interviews and things like that. So from the 9th of April onwards to the 12th of August, it's a very good time for you for seeking a change in your job, for improving your health through dietary and exercise regimes and things like that, and very pleasant social activities there potentially with people that you work with. It's good for job interviews and things like that, and you can end up travelling with someone that you work with perhaps. Now, on the 12th of August, Jupiter moves into the 7th house of your horoscope, and that's a major change in your life in the year. With Jupiter in the 7th house of your horoscope then for the balance of the year, and it's going direct all the time so it doesn't go retrograde again, Pisces, it means that you've got very good stars there to do with your partner if you have one, and for strengthening a relationship, a boost for your partner as far as their financial circumstances are concerned, and you could travel with a partner. There's a great deal of happiness there for you in relationships if you're not involved in a relationship that can bring a relationship. It can see you traveling with a friend and strengthening the relationship through that journey. Now we go to Saturn. Now Saturn is staying in the same house of your horoscope for the whole of the year. So Saturn is in the 10th house of your horoscope. Now that's not a good situation for you as far as business is concerned unless, Pisces, you're very, very practical and down to earth through the whole of the year. You've got to be well organised, you've got to have self-control, you've got to be able to plan things out very carefully connected with business. So there can be frustrations in dealings with government departments through this year. There can be frustrations and difficulties in dealings with parents if they're alive. There can be sickness or death of a parent sometime in 2015 with Saturn there in that location. And Saturn is retrograde in your horoscope from March to August. Now from March to August, therefore, Saturn is impacting negatively upon your 11th house and 12th houses. Your 11th house is your house of friends, so you'll have a bit of problem with friends, maybe secret worries to do with friendships, and 12th house matters are to do with your own personal introspective side of your nature, so you can have a sense of limitation and frustration and a lot of secret worries and insecurities, and you can be your own worst enemy, Pisces, when Saturn is impacting negatively upon the 12th house of your horoscope. So you can allow yourself to slip into habit patterns of behaviour that you felt as if you'd outgrown and so forth. And that's as far as I go for you, Pisces. Now, it's very, very important to understand what's going on in your life. You have brought yourself to this particular video because you're ready to make changes inside of yourself. And what I've given you here are what's called the transitory influences in your life, and they're nowhere near as powerful as what your progressions are. Progressions are the symbolic movement of the planets through the houses of your horoscope, and they form impacts and aspects and relationships with the natal planets in your horoscope as they move. And when they do, they bring about events and conditions in your life that are going to happen. In other words, the progressions in your horoscope, Pisces, are the roadmap that you've set out for yourself prior to coming into this life. The major events of your life are going to happen in your life according to this roadmap. When you will have changes of residence, when you will have changes in your job, when you'll have changes in terms of travel, when you'll travel overseas, when you'll travel interstate, when you'll form relationships, when you'll have breakups in relationships, when you'll have the birth of children, when you'll have the death of those around you, when you'll have gains financially, when you'll go into business, when you'll have new friendships form, when you'll have breakups of friendships, when you'll have bouts of sickness, and so forth. Look, all of these things are set there for you by yourself, not anybody else. By yourself, Pisces. these progressions determine the major events that you've set for yourself in this particular lifetime. Now, what I'm prepared to do for you, Pisces, is I'm prepared to do your progressions for you over the next 30 months free of charge. Now, this is not something that's a generality to do with all Pisces. It's something that's done from your personal horoscope that involves a lot of time on my behalf. And I'm prepared to do that for you free of charge, to tell you what are your major and minor progressions that you'll be experiencing over the next 30 months. Go to my website and look what's going on there and see the testimonials from people who've been through my intensives and had their lives changed. So it's a nice opportunity here for me, Pisces, to be able to do this reading for you on this video. And it's nice to be able to have an opportunity to be able to help you to become more of the giant that you truly are. So I thank you for your attentiveness here and look forward to working further with you should you decide to visit my website. Thank you.